Question 13 says, calculate the volume of a sphere with the diameter of 4.8. They've already identified the volume of the formula for the volume of a sphere, which is 4/3 pi r cubed. So what you need to remember is that diameter is basically twice of the radius. You draw a circle. This entire line is your diameter, and half of it would be your radius. So since they've given us the diameter, we can identify the radius by dividing your diameter by 2. So 4.8 divided by 2, which is going to be 2.4 centimeters. And then we're going to plug the value in the formula. So 4/3 pi times 2.4 cubed. Once again, to save time, you just plug in the calculation in the calculator. So 4 times pi times 2.4 cube divided by 3, 57.9. Since the answer was also in like one decimal place, so I'm going to give the value in the question was in one decimal place. I'm going to give the answer in one decimal place as well. Then if we go on to 14, it says by writing each number in the calculation correct to one significant figure, work out an estimate for the value of this. So 6.7 can be rounded to 7. 2.1 can be rounded to 2. 18 can be rounded to 20. And 5.9 can be rounded to 6. All of these are correct to one significant figure now. So 7 times 2 over 20 minus 6. 7 times 2 is 14. 20 minus 6 is also 14. Your answer is 1. So you don't even need the calculator for this. You just had to round them according to the given instructions, and you had your answer. Question 15 is from statistics and probability. It says Eric has 4 colors of paint. The table shows the probability that he uses each color. So we have the probability for red, which is 0.3, probability for blue, which is 0.35, probability for green 0.13, and yellow is unknown. So always remember that to find the value of any unknown probability, what we do is we add up all the probabilities and put it equal to 1. Why? Because your sum of probabilities for any event occurring cannot be greater than 1. It'll always be equal to 1 or less than 1. So our maximum value is 1. So 1 equals to 0.3 plus 0.35 plus 0.13 and plus x. So that is going to be 0.95 plus 0.65 plus 0.78. 1 minus 0.78 equals to x. Is going to be 0.22. That is your probability of him using the yellow color. Question 16 is asking us to factorize this expression completely. So for factorizing, you need to see what is the greatest common factor over here. So we have 8x squared minus 20x. So if we split it down into its factors, 8 is 2 times 4. X is x times x. 20 is 4 times 5 and x. So what's common over here? We have 4 common and we have an x common. So that means we will take 4x common outside of the bracket, and inside we'll be left with 2x minus 5. We can't further factorize it because 2 and 5 are both prime numbers. They don't come in the same times table. There's only one variable left, so completely factorized version is 4x times 2x minus 5. If you want like to do it like more like, step by steps, you could have started with taking 2x common and then taken again, taking 2 common again. But if you just break it down into its factors initially and see what's the highest common factor, just pick that and use that to save time. Question 17 is asking us to write on the first 3 terms of the sequence. So the nth term is given as 10 minus n squared. So that means t1, which is the first term, would be 10 minus 1 square, which is going to be 9. t2, which is the second term, would be 10 minus 2 square, which is going to be 6. And t3, which is the third term, 10 minus 9 would be 1. 9, 6, and 1. Part B says these are the first 4 terms of another sequence. So the sequence is 7, 10, 13, 16. We have to find an expression for the nth term. So if we look at this sequence, we can see that there's a difference of 3 between each consecutive term, which means we're adding 3 to get the next term. So whenever you have sequences and trying to figure out what the nth term would be, first check if there's like a common difference, if like a common number is being added, a common number is being subtracted. So in this case, since a common number, which is 3, which is being added to each consecutive term to get the next term, what you will do is you will start with multiplying that number by n, the variable n. So 3n. Now we know that 3n would not give us the correct answer, because if we try to use 3n to find the first term, 3 times 1 would be 3, not 7. So what can we add to 3 to make it a 7? The number we can add to 3 to make it 7 is 4. So let's say we change the formula to 3n plus 4 now. So let's do it again. So t1 would be 3 times 1 plus 4, which is 7. Let's check it for the next one. 3 times 2 plus 6, sorry, not plus 6, plus 4 would be 10. T3, 3 times 3 plus 4 would be 13. So which means 3n plus 4 is our nth term, which will give us any term in the sequence, whether it's the 5th, 6th, 10th, 100th, whatever the term is. You can use it to find that term using the nth formula. Question 18 is saying that the length L meters of a piece of wood is 3.6 meters. Correct to the nearest 10 centimeters. Complete the statement about the value of L. So basically, they're asking us to find the upper bound and lower bound of this value. So first, what we can do is convert the 3.6 meters into centimeters. So we know 1 meter is 100 centimeters. So 3.6 into centimeters would be 360 centimeters is 3.6 meters. Okay. So 10 centimeters are given. So whenever you're trying to find the upper bound and lower bound, what we do is whatever it's saying that it's nearest to, we divide that number by 2. So 10 divided by 2 is going to be 5, which means the upper bound would be 360 plus 5, and the lower bound would be 360 minus 5. Because upper means the higher value and lower means the lower value. So 360 plus 5 is 365, and 360 minus 5 is 355. Now keep in mind that these values are in centimeters, not in meters. To convert it back into meters now, we divide it by 100. So that means 3.65. But sorry, no, this is the lower value. 3.55. And it has to be less than 3.65. Yep. Then if we look at question 19, it says calculate 1 divided by 6.4 times 10 to the power of -5, giving your answer in standard form. So I'm just going to rewrite this as 1/64 times 10 to the power of -5. Then I'm going to rewrite this as 1/64 times 10 to the power of +5. Now the reason why it's +5 now is because when we're moving powers from the denominator to the numerator or vice versa, whatever the sign of the power is, it changes. For example, if it was 10 to the power of 5 in the denominator, if I had moved it up, it would become 10 to the power of -5. So the same logic applies in this case since it's originally -5. So when I move it in the numerator, it becomes +5. Now, next step is what I'm going to do is I'm going to just divide 1 by 64, which gives us 0.01565 times 10 to the power of 5 comes as it is. So since it's saying standard form, which means we have to, wait, this was 6.4. Sorry, guys. Let me just do that again. 1 divided by 6.4, so that is 0.15. Yeah. So since it's asking us to give it in standard form, that means the decimal has to move towards the right side. So if we move the decimal towards the right side, that means we move one place from the power as well. So it's going to be 1.5625 times 10 to the power of 4. That is the standard form. In standard form, your first digit cannot be 0. So we need to get rid of the 0. And to do that, we have to move the decimal. So since we move the decimal towards the right-hand side, that means we're reducing one place that was originally present in the number. So that's why 5 becomes 4 and the decimal moves.